yeah, there's some nice pull on that.
Just kidding.
Hi, back by popular demand. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Jay. Doing beef ribs. Well, we're gonna season them, we're gonna smoke them. Let's get started. I got myself some 4.5 pound slab of beef ribs from Costco. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get them out of the package, wash the ribs. And I washed all my meat just because when they cut this, they use a bandsaw. Sometimes you get the little fragments of bone that get packaged along with it. You know, they don't really clean it off too well, so that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm gonna sit them down. I'm gonna pat dry it. Get my cutting board in here. Flip them over. Pat dry the other side. The ends. Alright. You've seen some of my other videos, baby back ribs, and I kind of the same thing in that videos is that what I want to do is I want to remove the membrane off of the rib. Like a sausage intestine type material. It's a barrier. So you want to get that membrane off. That way when we season it, seasoning will penetrate into the meat. Or if you leave the membrane on, it doesn't. It's a barrier like a saran wrap. Really.
Any trick?
Use lots of paper towels to try to grab it. Costco meats, from what I'm told, they monitor and regulate their meats a lot more so than some of the other meat distributors. They have their own brand that they regulate and monitor it really well. Okay, so now, there's my rib. And you can see I got exposed meat there. I got the membrane off. And what I'm going to be using today is I'm going to go with just a commercial brand, Kinder's brown sugar rub. I highly recommend it. I like it. To get this rub to stick, I'm going to just use some regular old mustard. You know, it sounds kind of weird, but don't worry, it won't come out with a mustard taste to it. It'll actually cook off. This is just, I'm using this just to allow the rub to stick. You don't have to do this. If you don't want, you can use like an olive oil, or you can use nothing at all if you don't want to. Especially when I do like a brisket. Lather it all on there. Like I said, you won't taste it. Seasoning. I'm going to dust this on pretty heavy. Same on the other side. Voila. There we have it. Beef ribs all seasoned up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it rest 40 minutes or so and let it come up to a room temperature. And then from there, now it's going to go into the smoker. Be back in a few. All I'm going to do is just cover it with a piece of aluminum foil or saran wrap, whatever you want to cover it with, just in case while it sits there.
It's raining.
My hardcore barbecue.
Yes, you are.
Alright.
If you haven't done so already, please click on that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let us know what's your favorite thing that you like to grill.
Okay, welcome back. So now I've had my ribs resting for about 40 minutes or so. And you can see how brown sugar and the seasoning is starting to melt into the rib. Place this and make this a drip pan. So if I use this old baking sheet, then I don't have to clean up as much. Now here's my dilemma. I got a rib that's this big, a slab of ribs that's this big. My smoker is only this big. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut them. When I cut my ribs, I like to use a CUTCO boning knife. I really stand behind this product. These are what I would say the snap-on of knives. They're a lifetime warranty, always stay sharp, but it's a good product. They're a little on the pricey side, but well worth it. I'm gonna flip my slab of ribs over, and I'm gonna try to find the knuckle joint right in here to separate the two sets of ribs. And there's that joint, and I'm gonna try to split it right down the middle. And there you go. What I'll do is I'll take a little bit of the leftover that's on the cutting board, put it right there on the end. Rib on the rack. Now it's gonna fit in the smoker just easy peasy. Bone down. And now I'm ready to go into the smoker. My smoker is made by Bandit. It's an electric smoker. It's easy, lightweight, little compact. I got it preheating. Now see, I got a drip tray in there that goes down into the bottom, but what I like to do is if I take this cookie sheet and I stick it right in here, I use that as my drip tray, and it's a lot easier for me to clean up. Okay, now I got my 2 racks of ribs. I'm gonna go with the beefier rib on the bottom side, and then I'm gonna go with the smaller slab on the top, and we are all set. Put a little bit of water in here. It keeps the meat from drying out. It creates a steam, and we're gonna let these go for about 2 hours at 225 degrees. And then after that, I'm going to take them out, I'm going to sauce them, I'm going to wrap them, I'm going to put them back into the smoker. Now I'm going to shut my door. I'm using 2 types of woods. I like the old hickory, and I like the mesquite. And what I do is I'll mix the 2 together. You can soak these in water. A lot of people do. I do it too sometimes, but in this case, I'm kind of doing a rush job a little bit, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to soak them in water. All right, I'll load up the dispenser here with my hickory, mesquite chips. Insert it into the smoker and then rotate. Now it's into the wood, it's into the tray, and we'll give that about 2 hours. I got a timer going. I'll check on it in probably about an hour. You know, make sure the temperature ain't fluctuating too well, make sure I got nice good smoke going, and then we'll see how it comes out. So it's been about 2 hours been smoking the ribs. So now we're getting ready to wrap the rib. Open up the smoker and watch yourself, because there's going to be a big billow of smoke that comes out.
Woo.
And there's our ribs.
Yum. Oh my gosh.
And you can see they're starting to get a nice good pull on them.
You can see that coming down too.
It's the bone marrow.
Ooh. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision.
Slab of rib. And I'm going to just put it right on top there.
Ooh.
Wrap them in aluminum foil here. First one, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it back into the smoker. And just to point out, you can see my little drip tray. It makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it does.
Versus it
dripping down.
dripping all the way down. There you go. This one, same thing. Just gonna wrap it up. Back into the smoker. Now what they're going to do is they're going to steam in their own juices for about another hour and a half, and we're going to bring up the temperature about 235. But you can see we're getting a nice pull on them. Close up the smoker. I'm going to add a little bit, another 5 degrees. And at this point I don't need to add any more wood chips. The ribs have pretty much absorbed as much smoke as they can, and plus they're wrapped in the foil, so they're not going to get the smoke, so there's no sense for me to add more smoke to it. And we'll see how it comes out in about an hour and 40 minutes. See you then. Okay, well, we're back. As you can see, it's getting dark. It's been about an hour, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ribs out and we're going to sauce them, and we're going to throw them back in for about a half hour and let the sauce baste a little bit. I'm using my trusty dusty Streamlight headlamp. It's kind of bright. Ribs.
Whoa! Almost like a Cheech and Chong moment. You be Cheech, I'll be Chong. He's so serious, folks.
Yeah.
It smells amazing.
Can't wait for smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision like Queen G. Queen G says the first video I should do for smell-o-vision is with hard-boiled eggs. If you haven't seen that joke, story time, boiled eggs, go watch it now. Ooh, that looks good.
Take the rib. And I am going to place it back on the rack. Queen G likes the original Kraft barbecue sauce, so that's what I'm gonna use.
You know, one of these days we're gonna have to try making our own barbecue sauce, huh? Experiment, play a little. Let us know in the comments down below if that's something you guys like to see us try. That should be a hoot to watch.
Okay, so let's take the next ones out.
It smells so good. So good, so good.
That's a nice pull to it. It's looking good. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and sauce this one up real good. Queen G's favorite barbecue sauce, Kraft Original. She's an original type girl.
Yeah, she is.
One of a kind.
Yeah, she is.
Alright, now that we got them all sauced up, I'm just gonna throw them back in there. Alright, now we'll close it up and we'll let it go for about another half hour.
And I got baked potatoes going and corn. And for ambiance, we have the garden all lit up. As you can see, lettuce is doing great. Cilantro, we got basil here, onions over there. We just got a whole nice setup. Ooh, I can smell that basil since I just went like that. Yum. We got some peppers that Jay likes to also add to our steak sometimes. I have jalapenos, but not on a stick. But
Okay, now since we put them back in, I'm going to kick up the temp to about 250 for about a half hour, 40 minutes.
Tell us about your headlamp.
Well, so when you have short days and you like the barbecue, I use this Streamlight headlamp. It's real small, lightweight, and it real bright. And it lasts about 6 hours. Good little headlamp. It's rechargeable, doesn't use any batteries. I would recommend it. It's made by Streamlight, and you can find it on Amazon.
We'll link it down in the description below.
Down below.
YouTubers out there, all of you. Jay's not a YouTuber, but he's trying, because we know that a lot of you had requested more Cook with Jay, and like me, I'm like, yeah, because Jay cooks really well. He loves barbecuing in the rain like we saw earlier tonight. But anyways, we just want to share that with you, right?
Yes. Alright people, I think we're at the finishing point of these ribs. Take a look and see what we got. Stand back and we're going to have a big puff of smoke coming out. Go. Oh yeah, there's some nice pull on that.
Just kidding. Oh my goodness, you guys.
And my timer just went off.
Ooh, perfect timing. Did you know that was going to happen?
Sit. Get happy. Would let it sit for about 15 minutes, but tonight, 5 minutes. We hungry. Been resting for about 15 minutes. Now I'm getting ready to cut them up. I am going to be using the Hardy Carver by CUTCO. It's got a serrated edge and it is perfect for doing this type of a job. Between the rib bone and the meat there, and I'm going to try to cut it right down the center so I get enough beef on both sides. And here's the first one. That look good.
That does look good.
And I'm gonna cut the second one. Look at that. Look at that rack. Look at how much beef there is. Whoa. That's gonna be a lot of beef. Here's the bone, here's the bone. I want to make it even cut in between and leave a lot of beef in between, but then as I get up to where the two ribs come together, I need to separate it, and it's kind of an offset type of cut. Now if you've cut ribs before, you'll know what I'm talking about. And of course the CUTCO Hardy Slicer cuts through it like butter. How's those ribs? Let's take a look at those. Look at that beef on that. Goes on the serving dish here. I'll let you know what it tastes like here in a minute. And let's try this rib. Right off the bone. Oh yeah. Nice and tender. And there you have it. Voila. Hey, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is finger looking good. Thank you for joining me with another episode of Cooking with Jay. I hope you like what I did, and I hope to see you the next time at the grill.
Getting tastier and tastier.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's watching him cook, what would you say?
Come and join us.
Yeah.
I hope to see you next time at the grill. Bye.